a start by Saints, though. And that man, he came to the rescue. Took a huge gamble, didn't he, Joe Monaghan? They had the overlap out on that left-hand side.
So Helens look unstoppable, don't they, in the middle? James Roby picking up and going. This is a big play for them from this scrum.
It is indeed. It's with Lomax here. He showed it to Flannery, gave it to Wellens. They've got Gardner wide outside. Gardner with the first try for St Helens, just as he did on Sunday against Leeds. Aidy Gardner tries in his last 3 appearances. That's try number 5 of 2012 for Aidy Gardner. He got the Saints up and running just 5 days ago at the Langtree Park against the champions, and he's done exactly the same here against the Warrington Wolves tonight. Warrington haven't touched the ball yet, other than to concede a couple of extra sets of 6.
Here's a long pass from Lantohaya. Joe Monaghan couldn't get it. It hit the youngster there from that position, but it was the forwards that got them into this wonderful place, and the overlap. Fullback joins in. That's all you need to do. Create that extra man. Lomax, a little bit of a dummy. You have the dummy runner coming through, and you can see the winger. He had to take an option, and Riley went in, sufficient enough for Aidy Gardner, who was in tremendous form since he's been returned back into the first grade.
And he's tormented Warrington down the years, scoring 21 tries in meetings with the Wolves, including 5 try doubles. No hat-tricks yet, though. 7 consecutive Saints visits he scored here between 2005 and 2009, and he's got the Saints off to a flyer. Lomax to try and have the extras, which he does. It just scrapes inside the posts, and St Helens leads 6-0.
What a great start this is from St Helens. Really have come out all guns blazing. Got the field position here, and it's just Atkins and Myler. Both are sucked into the same man. That allowed Wellens to make it a 2v1. Just create enough space for Gardner on the outside. And my word, there's a steely determination about this guy at the minute. He really is in good form.
And he's going to get the ball from the kick-off here. Great chase by Warrington, though, led by Atkins and Waterhouse. They bring him down on the 20-metre line. There's Shenton. Here now is Flannery.
The Wolves realise they've got to make sure that their defence are going to try to just keep St Helens, stop their momentum. Remember, it was a charge down, back to 6. Then we had the knock-on from Joe Monaghan. They got the head and feet at the scrum. They've applied the pressure.
And here's the kick again from Lantohaya, but that's not the best. That sliced out on the ball. That will be brought back to where the kick was taken.
I think that's a worry because of the pressure he had last time. He snapped at it, hasn't he? He's put it straight into the crowd, and he knows, particularly in the game, in the first half of the match, Warrington shirts will fly up at you. It's a trait of Tony Smith teams. They like to put the opposition kicker under pressure, and he's come up with the ball.
And sometimes, Phil, you get a bit of luck as they did the first time, but that time the pressure has brought Warrington field position.
And this is the first time in 5 minutes that Warrington have actually had the chance to pass the thing. Morley will drive it in on tackle number 2, 20 metres away from the Saints line. Here comes Mike Cooper now.
Good
Mike
solid
Cooper
work.
Halted by Flannery and Perry.
Good solid work by the forwards as well, and they won't spin it out wide early. They're going to do the work. Oh, he did well to keep that in.
He did, Joel Monaghan, under pressure from Francis Melly as well, and Lantohaya. Loose pass finds Morley. Morley drops the ball. Saints gather it back with Perry.
Well, that surprised me. All the hard work under so much pressure, and it was easy for Josh Perry, the prop, to drop onto that. Got to be careful. They're losing the plot slightly at Warrington.
That's
give
one of
away
the
a silly
examples.
penalty.
That's one of the examples of the risk that Warrington take. We know that they offload the ball, they take a chance, it does result in errors, but occasionally it will result in a try, and we're seeing both of it at the moment. But unfortunately for the Wolves supporters, perhaps too many of the errors to start this game.
Soliola back in the side. He's had a couple of weeks out after something went on in the town centre. Nothing to do with the sport of rugby league, but he's back in the first team now.
And not surprisingly that Mike Rush, the coach, has got Soliola playing out there on that left-hand side. Surely he's offside.
No,
Can't be on the charge though.
Charge down again.
Sorry.
that's 3 charge downs, and 2 have gone St Helens' way and 1 Warrington, but I'm sure Coach Tony Smith will be a little concerned about the sloppiness of the Wolves, that set of 6 that they did have ball in hand.
Oh, great work by Roby. Soliola, oh, he's lost it.
Yeah, as it was Paul Wellens chiming in.
Well, that was silly play by Wellens. He tried to lift him and then bounced back down again, looking to get away with it. The officials just ignored it.
You'll be able to keep up to date with all the scores tonight. Another mistake from Warrington. Trent Waterhouse putting the ball down. All the other scores tonight, keep an eye on the bottom of the screen. We'll have the running scores for you throughout tonight and all the tries. First look at them from this weekend, Sunday night, Sky Sports 2 HD, 9 o'clock on the excellent Super League full time.
Far too many errors from the home side, and the Warrington coach Tony Smith is fully aware of that. Waterhouse was standing very, very shallow. If you're going to come onto the ball, in fact, there was an element perhaps that might have been forward. They've got to sort themselves out, as Phil Clark says. They are a tremendous side, Warrington. They like to keep it alive, but there are times when you just got to close things down. They haven't done much possession nor field position.
And it's so similar to last week at Wigan, this start from Warrington. Errors galore, but remember what happened after the 80 minutes. They settled down, they won the match, but Saints are in the mood to make them pay here. This is Wellens. They have the man on the overlap wide. Shenton couldn't get the ball out. And it's now a mistake by St Helens.
Yeah, good work there by Riley. Came in off the whitewash, realised that it was going to be quick hands from this fella, and then they got straight into it.
Mike Rush, Kieran Cunningham in temporary charge until a new man is appointed to take control of St Helens full-time.
The 2 latest mistakes, though, Eddie, have both been forced by great defence. Shenton on Waterhouse, and then Riley really did take the space in that case, so you can put that down to good defending rather than poor attacking.
Now can Warrington just steady the ship in the 9th minute of this match? That was a pass wide that found Simon Griggs. Michael Monaghan scoops in at dummy half. Here they come with the skipper Morley.
It was a good tackle as well by the youngster Josh Jones. We've already mentioned that Jones will be put under pressure. Oh, and that's even poor play by Warrington. They're a bit nervous.
Monaghan again, this time goes down that short side once more. Brias pumps the ball downfield with the right boot. Gardner, great chase though from Warrington.
Shows no fear, does he, A.D. Gardner? And not a bad kick and chase either. Split the full-back and the winger, that's all you need.
Well, every time Steve or Eddie Gardner's received a kick, he's picked out one man in the Warrington defensive line every time, and that's been young Richie Myler, so I think he's in for a busy night defending tonight.
Don't think he should have any fears about that, because I thought he was magnificent in defence last week at Wigan.
He really has blossomed as a defender the past couple of seasons.
Lafranchi gets the ball away, finds Wilkin, a short ball, finds Lomax. Here's Wellens. Wellens going for the line, and Wellens with the try. Was there a touch of a forward pass for the last pass that found Wellens? Well, they can't go upstairs, of course, to the video referee to decide that. But from this angle, it looked suspiciously forward. But Wellens with the try for Saints, and they came out of the blocks quick against Leeds last week, and they have come out of the blocks quick against Warrington here tonight. Wellens with the latest try, the second try for Saints. What a start. What a start for Mike Rush and Kieran Cunningham. Wonder if Eamon McManus will give it them full time, Steve-O.
Well, the way they're playing, it's confidence right the way through the side, isn't it? Maybe there was a touch in regards to the forward pass, but you've got to take your chances there. Wilkins' offload to Lomax was superb, and like all great fullbacks throughout the history of the game, this one's okay, that's no problem. It's the one before that I feel that the Warrington fans a little bit upset. This is the Wilkin one. Maybe it looked okay from that angle, but either way, the support play by the fullback Paul Wellens was outstanding. They fully deserved to get that try. And Warrington, they are in all sorts of trouble. He knew he was going to make it. He's not the fastest fullback in the world, Paul Wellens, but give him half a chance. The momentum will carry him through.
Well, I suggested there was maybe a forward pass in the build-up to that, but looking at it again, no chance. Absolutely no chance. Great passes, and I think good work from Ben Thaler and his two touch judges. Johnny Lomax, this kick to give St Helens a 12-0 advantage. 12-0 it is, the flags go up. Well, at the moment, under Cunningham and Rush, the Saints can do no wrong.
Yeah, but they've been helped along by a lot of poor defence by Warrington. It's a 50-50 call. Sometimes it goes for you, sometimes against.
Ben Thaler was really well placed.
Yep, and you've got to give him credit for that.
So Warrington restart, 12 down.
They need the ball, they need to get rid of all the errors, they need to get into this game. And Saints are doing exactly as what Eddie has said, like they did last week. They are just smothering the home side, and it's great tactics.
Well, just like Roberto Di Matteo at Chelsea, Mike Rush, Kieran Cunningham have turned to their experienced players to halt this worst ever start to a Super League season. They did it in style against Leeds last Sunday, and so far they are doing this in style as well. Again, tonight, running at a point per minute.
Yeah, and they're doing a lot of hard work at St Helens off the ball as well. The two tries and the two breaks, they've come about by unselfish running with the dummy runners, some coming back on the inside. And I must say that Johnny Lomax is having the game of his life. He's controlling things out there.
I think the test comes for St Helens right now, Eddie, when the opposition have the ball. We know they can attack. We have no fear that they'll score points in this match. But can they prevent this side, Warrington, possibly the best attacking team in Super League, who do take risks, but when they throw the ball around, Saints need to have a match and defend it well.
Crowd on the back of the referee, they're screaming for a penalty at every tackle, really, because they believe that Saints are trying to slow, Warrington rather, are trying to slow the Saints down. This is Joel Monaghan. Saints doing really well.
Well, Warrington need a little bit more urgency. You could see there that Joel Monaghan took an eternity to get up there and play the ball. That doesn't give him much opportunity for this man, Michael Monaghan, in the dummy half position. He likes to do exactly what Roby does, skirt away from the dummy half.
Crossfield kick from Breers, trademark of his, straight into the arms of Gardner, though. And Gardner gets as far as Waterhouse.
And good positioning by the winger. Anticipated that kick, not always going to the corner.
Here's Shenton now for Saints. Solid defence required now by Warrington. Roby for St Helens, gets the ball away. Here's Francis Mellon. Roby. Perry. Down he goes on tackle number 4. Roby again, back it comes to Wilkin. Deep kick, downfield.
Oh, it's a cracker. If he can make the ball bounce, you know, it just gives it that extra. Oh, what a hit! Oh, Soliola absolutely crunched the full-back then.
As you would have felt that, Brett Hodgson and Riley, nowhere for him to go. See this Warrington crowd on the back of the referee. They want a penalty for Warrington. Believe that Saints are trying to slow them down, and they tried to offload that, didn't work.
Why on earth do they want to do that? They should have learned the lesson very early in the piece when it was Morley that offloaded. They're coming up with errors. They're just absolutely crucifying themselves.
You know what's funny though? That's what they do, and they're top of the league, isn't it?
Yeah, but not when you've had no possession and you're only 15 metres away from your own line. Common sense comes to the fore. They're not using any.
Roby with the pass to Lomax. Movement all around him. He finds Perry. That's good defence again from Warrington, but look how close the Saints are to that line. Roby is scheming both ways, goes towards the post, finds Lomax. Lomax then gets it to a higher. Great ball! Great try, Helens! Just as Leeds had no answer on Sunday, Warrington have got no answer to this. Some fantastic passing by Saints close to the line, and Welland's over for his second try. The Warrington crowd are stunned. What a start for St Helens.
3 mistakes by the Wolves, have given St Helens, the visitors, an absolute dream start. Take nothing away from the skill factor from this Saints outfit, but what on earth were you trying to do there? Paul Wood in an impossible situation, and the defence is all over the place. Soliola, the dummy run coming back on the angle, has created havoc in the Wolves' defence. Watch for the mop of hair coming through. Two men went for him. Lance O'Hire says, have I got a full-back that can finish? And the answer is yes. Frustration on the Warrington fans. They can't believe it.
Well, they're not used to this here. The last time they lost in the weekly rounds was last June. Okay, they lost a playoff match here against Leeds last September, leading up to Old Trafford. But this is uncharted territory over the past 12 months for the Warrington supporters. And Lomax here with the chance to make it 18-0. And he adds the extra 2 points to Johnny Lomax. In a very quiet Halliwell Jones Stadium, apart from the end to our left-hand side, which is full of St Helens supporters.
Well, this is a real test now for Warrington as we see this third try go over. You know what, we've still got over 3/4 of this game left, and we'll see what character and what quality really are in the Warrington club. We've said they're a great side in the last 12 months. Let's see how good they really are.
Great kick-off from Breers. Wellens is underneath it. Solid chase from the kick-off by Warrington as well.
Well, they're going to have to dig deep, this home side, that is for sure. And the St Helens fans, they're really goading the home supporters. And why not? 18-0, it's unbelievable, isn't it?
Such a contrast in styles, how they're bringing the ball out of yardage. St Helens very direct with push, and Warrington looking to offload the way out. And obviously the scorebook tells you at the moment which has been the most successful strategy.
Something maybe here for Joel Monaghan to build on, perhaps, but it's a good chase after Wilkins kicked downfield. Perry in there, so too Soliola.
Well, we were so impressed with St Helens' defence last week against Leeds. They really did. Oh, what are they doing? Okay, what on earth is going on inside the brain box?
Here goes Shenton. Myler gets to him and eventually brings him down. Shenton will play the ball. Roby finds Lomax. Lomax then to O'Hire. O'Hire goes wider and finds Soliola. He'll have a run at them. And they've got Warrington offside.
Would you kick at goal, Mike?
No. Well, the two coaches have said
No
run
way.
it. The two
Run
coaches signal, we've just seen it. Run it.
Just run it, of course, yeah.
Oh, it's a big set then. This is the match for me, and these 6 tackles could be the match. Warrington have to defend this, as this keeps them in the game for me.
Yeah, you don't go for 2 points when you're 18 points up against a side like Warrington on their home ground with the fans. They're stunned.
Josh Jones restarts. Here is Soliola. That's solid first tackle.
Now watch for the dummy runners again from Saints.
It's Lafranchi.
Oh, it's a high one.
High one from
Carvel.
Gareth Carvel. Run it, run it, run it. Look, there's no doubt in their minds what to do.
And Frankie certainly would have felt that as well from the swinging arm from Carvel.
Well, there's a massive weight of possession for St Helens, and they're obviously trying to capitalise and be absolutely ruthless. Let's see if they are.
Lafranchi here now. Gets them right on the Warrington goal line. It's Roby. Back it comes to Lomax. Lomax trying to jink inside the shoulder of Morley.
Go on, Roby, have a go on your own. He's been farming it out all night.
He's having a look, he's having a look. He's passed it inside. Has Cooper got him held up? Yes, he has.
Got underneath in Cooper. That was great stuff. Had to. It was a neat little flick back on the inside to the prop forward, Anthony Lafranchi.
Yes, he scored 2 tries this year already. He thought he'd got the third then. Roby again. Attack the line, find Lomax. Lomax, short ball, Soliola. Oh, he's dropped it. Soliola has dropped it, I think.
Well, it's bounced. Has he got it down? Well, he was clear through. All he had to do was just drop the body.
I think all he's done is drop the ball.
Otchin was
Maybe not.
That's a try.
Well, he did attempt to kick it too with his right foot, so...
Yeah, the fullback Hodgson, watch this. Gets a boot to it. Oh, on that angle, it looks as though it's bounced.
You're not allowed to kick the ball out of the hands, are you?
Well, has he done it on purpose?
Yes.
Well, it appears that way. I think everybody thinks he's going to go back and... well, on that... You see, on that one, has he got the finger spread?
That's no try, Steve-O.
Well, he bounces,
What's the decision, though?
high.
What's the decision? Because you can't kick the ball out of somebody's hand.
It may well be a penalty. Whether it's a penalty try, I don't know.
No, it's a 20-metre restart. They've deemed it to be a knock-on.
Yeah. Boy, that could have just absolutely wrapped it all up.
I'm rewinding the
World Cup, wasn't it? The World Cup game was New Zealand. Billy Slater trying to kick the ball out of the hand.
And it was outlawed in the competition. Surely it was outlawed in the game as well.
Well,
Surely.
the only thing that we can think, Eddie, is that Ian Smith, the video referee, thought that perhaps Brett Hodgson didn't do it deliberately, that it was accidental. That's the only reason I can come to.
Well, he was very desperate. He's got away with it, so let's get on with the game.
And I can confirm that Ian Smith thought it was not an intentional kick by Hodgson. He thought it was accidental. That's why it's 18-0. That's why Warrington are coming forward here. And they have a penalty because Louis McCarthy-Scar's foot just on a straight offside.
Just a lack of concentration there, but this is a golden opportunity now for Wolves, mainly due to the fact that they know that perhaps they've got away with a little bit of lady luck.
So here's Michael Monaghan, and Chris Hill is out there as well. Tony Smith has made a raft of changes to try and stop the rot. That could easily have been, as Phil Clark rightly said, that could have been the game. As it is, they're right in the contest here, and they've got another penalty. Ohio going high on Matty Blythe.
Oh yes, so high. Well, just a lack of concentration when they were absolutely controlling this game. Now then, will we see a little bit more running from Michael Monaghan? I made the point, Eddie, he's had minor surgery to the knee. I don't think he's still 100%.
Here's Chris Bridge. Oh, and Breers has lost it, but backwards.
Well, he's got it right as the official.
Chris Hill again. Now, Richie Myler just puts the brakes on, tries to go inside Shenton. Flannery's over there as well. Plays the ball to Atkins. Atkins has a dart for the line.
Good tackle by Flannery, went low. Scarsbrook over the top.
Michael Monaghan finds Richie Myler. Just checks and comes back. Gets it to Atkins. Flicked over the head to Waterhouse. Good tackle by Lomax.
Oh, it should have been a flop, surely. Waterhouse looks at the official and said he came late.
Oh, and Riley's got to get this ball away. Riley's got to get this ball away. He has.
What has he done? He's given it to him.
And he's given it from Wilkin to Gardner, and Gardner is away. Good tackle back by Riley, though.
Still going.
That could have been another certain 4-point save.
Well, that yardage there, that's a result of the sensational St. Helens defence there. They're really getting off the line, putting the Wolves under pressure, and that's forcing the errors.
Here's Paul Clough now for the Saints. Well, Gardner looked away, and Riley did ever so well. Here's Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook.
Good job, he was alert as well, but the panic that's going through this Warrington outfit. They must be keeping looking at the scoreboard and saying, oh, we're in so much bother. Oh, they took a huge gamble there.
Yeah, Breers went for the interception, and it only found Soliola. Here they come down that left channel again with Lomax. He's spinning. He gets the ball away. This time they're in with Francis Melly. This time they're in with Melly, the Saints. Well, at the moment, they can do no wrong. They've had a try chalked off by the video referee. They've had Chris Riley having to pull down Aidy Gardner with the try line beckoning 40 metres away. And in the next wave of attack, back they come, and Melly with the fourth St Helens try in this first half. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. What a turnaround in less than a fortnight.
Outstanding play, and I must say that the way that Melly just not only got over in the corner, normally you'd think he'd just pop it down, but you're leading 18-0, and he thought, oh, I'll try to make it easier for the kicker. This is the offload. and that should have been a flop in my book. Waterhouse was finished, and the coach Tony Smith thought should have been a penalty, and then it was Gardner that took them right up the other end. Lomax, who's creating all sorts of problems for them, whips it away. Look at this. He could have put it down. No, I'll take it another 10 metres in. That really is rubbing the salt in a very, very large wound. Tremendous play, though, by Johnny Lomax. He's been outstanding tonight.
Well, the referee took a tumble as well, but he got to his feet and he managed to see the ball plonk down for the fourth St Helens strike. It's almost a carbon copy, this, of last Sunday against Leeds. I think they're 24-0 up in 24 minutes against the champions. This sails over, and it doesn't, but they're 22-0 up in 23 minutes. So, the way the Saints have been playing, a high shot from Carvel, and the coaches say, run it on, let's go for broke, let's go for broke. And now the fans are saying exactly the same as well. They've spotted them on the big screen. It's the new signal that the supporters are passing on to their players via the coaching staff.
When you cross the 4 tries in such wonderful fashion, you're going to latch on to everything.
Oh, and here's a penalty for St Helens now. He's Michael Monaghan saying he had hold of my arm.
Yeah, I think there's a bit of 50-50 in there.
They might have taken 8 rounds, 9 rounds, but they finally got their attitude to match their ability, and they look the most dangerous side. Here's another penalty for them. They're using possession so successfully. And from the start, when Aidy Gardner ran the ball back very aggressively, every of his teammates have followed in a similar vein.
They just seem to be making yards with ease.
Yeah. And you can put a lot down to this fella.
Lomax, that looked a bit forward. That did look forward from up here.
Yeah, he hasn't picked it.
Touch judge stood his ground as well. Clough. Carvel gets to him with Blythe.
The importance of this man, James Roby. Every time he gets into the dummy half, he creates complete havoc. Just being there.
Here's the youngster Josh Jones, gets a great pass away to O'Hire. He finds Wilkin. And here is Lomax, trying to shimmy his way to the line. Oh, what a pass out the back door, and that's Flanagan. Last tackle here for Saints. Roby looking both ways again. Short ball. Well, they're over the line again, but this time held up.
It'll be a turnover and a very relieved Warrington outfit.
Paul Clough just couldn't put the ball down.
Neat little pass again from Roby. You look at the key players in certain sides, and the way that Lomax is controlling things out wide. James Roby he's making sure that the forwards are working hard, but every time Warrington get a defensive line at the play of the ball, they're frightened. They just do not know what Roby's going to do.
I think Steve-O, James Roby's benefited from some quick rucks, whereas put on Michael Monaghan, he's having to play off a slower ruck, and that's down to St Helens putting 3 men in the tackle, working very, very hard to slow the Warrington play the ball.
Easley Breers, he has taken off the bandage that he came on the field with, a legacy of the battle of the DW Stadium last Friday. Last tackle here for Warrington. It goes high off the boot of Breers. Wellens is underneath it, pouches it safely, flings the ball infield and finds Gardner. Another good tackle from Richard Myler. Flannery.
Interesting to see how St Helens are sharing the workload as well. 3/4 not frightened to come up and make themselves interested.
Another fantastic break. Lomax with a beautiful pass to Wellens. Here comes Roby, finds Flannery.
That looked a touch forward as well.
It's all around that ruck area, Eddie. They really are peppering the ruck area of the Warrington Wolves.
Clough with a solid run, and Hodgson, I think, has taken a bang there.
I think he got the elbow in the throat.
Goes high off the boot this time of Lomax. Joel Monaghan underneath it. Warrington need to respond in the 11.5 minutes before half-time.
They certainly need a score, that's for sure, but it's not going to be easy against this very strong defence. They're working overtime. He's trying to pinch the penalty. It's not, it is coming. Yeah.
Smart thinking that from Briers.
Yeah. He picked him out, Lanto higher. Briers said, how many times do you want me to touch him, sir? He's finished off in the end by Josh Jones.
The one man that we didn't mention in the build-up tonight, Steve-O, unusually,
Lee Briers, and he knows now, all his experience, he has to drag his side back into this game, and they've got to score quickly.
He's been across this path with Warrington against St Helens many, many times before. Myler, here is Hill. Hill then finds Hodgson. Hodgson straightens it up, but Roby gets to him, pulls him down, with a bit of help from Wilkin. There's Monaghan, Carvel, Myler, and behind everybody, and the ball bounces again, and Lomax is first to it. I would imagine that Tony Smith will be having duck eggs at the moment.
I'm not sure about duck eggs, Eddie. I don't know what you'd explain, but this is just poor play. I mean, take nothing away from Eddie Gardner, the way that he put his body in front. They applied the pressure, and I'm afraid they're not responding, Warrington. That's a great
kick. It's gone for a 40-20. Has it? No, it's just a yard or so the wrong side of the line.
But he won't mind, and neither will his coaches, Mike Rush and Kieran Cunningham, because they know that this number 9, James Roby, is controlling things out there and is allowing plenty of space for the wonderful halfback Johnny Lomax to make the rest of the team tick.
Just seen Lee Briers going over to talk to Michael Monaghan, and I guess one of the things they're trying to do, and you will be a little bit stunned when you don't expect to be 22 points down after half an hour, is imagine the score's 0-0 again, because for a moment, Eddie, for the last few minutes, they've all been panicking, trying to win the game individually. They've got to get back to playing as a team if they stand any chance of building the way back into the match.
We come back to the Halliwell Jones Stadium Thursday for the another local derby, and probably Warrington's biggest local derby in years gone by, against Widnes. 8 o'clock, Sky Sports 3 HD. Meanwhile, here's a penalty that goes against Mark Flanagan. He's trying to turn around and get on top of Bridge and get in front of him.
He made a meal of it and suffered the consequences.
Mickey Himes out there. Here is Michael Monaghan. Now Myler and Atkins. Lomax does very well. Quick play the ball, Riley.
Well, that's better play from Warrington. They mean to get on with it, and that's what they need. They've got to take a leaf out of the book of the Saints.
Saints clutching at thin air when Riley has it. Tony Smith's come down from his eyrie and is on pitch side as Hill makes this drive towards the line.
Well, Tony Smith, he knows he's got to get a few messages out there.
Briers, short ball, good ball too. Good defence from St Helens. It was Grix, I think. It was Grix who was so close. Briers again. Oh, knock on by Hodgson.
A poor pass. It was dipping all the time. And you just add all those errors together, and it comes up with a word, mess.
Well, I'm with Phil, really. They really are panicking at the minute, and they need to show an element of composure in order to just find a way back into the game.
I get the impression, John, that they're wanting to get it out wide, but you've got to utilise the forward to pull that defence in. Then you can get it. We've seen it from Saints on a couple of occasions where they've caught Warrington by doing that, and I'm afraid Warrington Wolves are not doing it in attack.
Let's get down to Rod on the sideline.
You're right, Eddie. It's very rare to see Tony Smith down on the sideline at this stage of a match, and he's obviously concerned, and he'll be more concerned with the news that Adrian Morley's got a problem with his right foot as well. They're strapping that up, and the last thing they need is their talismanic captain sat on the sidelines when they're 22-0 down to St Helens.
Yes, that is the last thing that they need, and Morley, we saw him then, just had a glimpse of him. There he is, and thought he'd come off the seat pretty quickly. He's trying to run it off. Here's Wilkin, gets away, flicks the pass to O'Hire. They're high on confidence, Saints.
Back here, boys. Okay.
Roby.
Off he goes again. Tremendous stuff. Absolutely superb.
This is a great kick. No, it isn't.
It might not be a great one, Eddie, but it's a good one, because the way that the Saints are defending, they know they can line up on that 30-metre line, and Well, they're trying to get a jump on the official, and the official says it's got to be in the middle, and it's got to be when I blow the whistle. When I tell you, now you can go.
And
you know what, it's hard to look.
Defence is all there.
Sorry, it's hard to look impressive in a side that's losing 22-0. But Chris Hill, the guy who's just played the ball with the hand guard, I think he's been really good for them, not just here today, but last week as well. You know, he waited 7 years to get a chance to play in Super League. He played in the lower leagues as Ryan Atkins takes them downfield, but it was one of the reasons why they're still in this game with a shout.
Aidy Gardner flew out of the line then. That's what gave Warrington the opportunity to attack down this left channel for them. Keeping it alive, Myler to Breers, and Breers gets it wide and finds Brett Hodgson. Again! Well, it's an error-a-thon in 35 minutes for Warrington, this. I've never seen them put so much ball down.
Well, the thing is, you really didn't need to come back on the inside. Hodgson had done everything, and you can see there, it turned around Francis Malley, and Chris Bridge decided at the very last moment to come back on the inside. That created the overlap, one of the very few throughout this first half.
Back on, Jerry. Let's go with them, please.
Another error. It's becoming a nightmare for the Warrington fans, the players, and of course their coach Tony Smith. Won't be pleased with this.
Now 22-0, 5 minutes to half-time in St Helens' favour. It is gettable for a team like Warrington, but there'll have to be radical improvement second half.
I'd like to be a fly on the wall at half-time, because I think Mr. Smith will have plenty to say. He should have anyway.
Forward pass, that one's picked up.
It's a gamble that they take, and you don't mind in many ways when you're leading by 22 points to 0.
I don't think that was forward, actually.
Well, whether it was or not, I'm certain that Kieran Cunningham will just say, why change what's been so successful? They've been so successful with aggressive carries around the ruck and just working that area, so why go away from it?
Well, a chance here for Warrington. They need to score before half-time, particularly if this 22-point deficit is gettable for them. They've got 4 minutes to do it. Hodgson, Michael Monaghan, Waterhouse, trundles it down the middle again!
Oh,
knock on there by Saints, I think.
Knock on by Wilkin, I think. Was it? No, I think it was Flanagan that...
It was an attempted offload, and it was then knocked forward.
Yeah, it's Flanagan there.
Storm it then, please.
Well, if we didn't mention... there's the offload there, and rightly called by the referee or his touch judges who are helping him. If we didn't mention Lee Breers before the game, I'll tell you what, if Warrington are going to have to do anything...
This is Atkins! Important little ankle flip by Lomax.
Just got his hand to it there.
Michael Monaghan loops the pass, and it's all over the shop again! Well, it was almost a try for Atkins had he got through, and as it is now, here come the Saints again.
Good work by the youngster there, Josh Jones, neat footwork. He might be having his debut, but I tell you what, he nearly tried to milk a penalty there.
Great offload. No way through for McGuinness, though.
You're in space, get out, get away!
Ooh, that was even more forward.
Louis McCarthy's Garsman with the break, and he finds Flannery. And an important tackle by Myler. He moved off the mark then.
Just got a little bit too excited. And when you're in control, he'll put the teeth back in. When you get the control of the game, you can just push it a little bit more, a little bit of a back chat, give him another 10. Breers has punted it onto this light, right on the left-hand corner. They need something here. They've got to have the dummy runner. Keep your eye on the fullback, Brett Hodgson.
Here's Waterhouse, though. He goes down, tackled by Shenton and Flannery. Michael Monaghan spins the pass to Myler, pops it up to Hill. And Hill, great run. 2 minutes from half-time. Big moment in the match here for Warrington. Hyam, Myler, Breers. Breers gets it away to Hodgson. Hodgson with the try for Warrington. And there's hope. On the back of a couple of penalties, Warrington trundle downfield and Hodgson gives them hope for the second half. Just what they needed this.
It's the first real opportunity that the Wolves have actually put together a solid three-quarter line passing game. We've seen so many passes either go to ground or go astray behind the man running onto it. Here's the penalty, no doubt about it. Flannery moved off the spot, can't get away with it. Ben Taylor's too smart for that. Dummy runner on the first real occasion, that's a neat dummy. The fullback, Fred Hodgson, all the experience in the world. Just pulls them through there, hangs it. Half a chance, quarter of a chance. Either way, it may be a slim one, but they got on the scoreboard, and that is the best way to build your confidence and try again to get back into this match.
Well, he was in great form with the boot last week after coming back from 2 matches out, 5 from 6 at Wigan. And this is a big kick for Hodgson and for Warrington in the context of this match. He's just scored his first try of the season. Can he add the extra 2? And the answer is yes, he can. Warrington 6, St Helens 22. But a very important moment in this match.
Certainly is. It's always a wonderful boost just before the half-time break. It's something for your coach to discuss, and also it goes through the players' minds that yes, we do have the power, we have the strength and the skills to go through and score a try against a defence that up until that moment virtually was so solid. Only one real mistake. Oh.
Carvel collects it behind his own line. There's the half-time. Oh, hang on! Oh, hang on! Wilkin has got over the line, but has he touched it down? Has there been an almighty error from Carvel?
I think it has.
Well, Wilkin is nodding.
Well, that was a very poor carry.
Oh, it's an offload.
Why on earth? I can't believe it.
But has Wilkin knocked it on there?
I think they're going to be very, very lucky.
Give Sean McGuinness some credit today. His effort to sprint from that kickoff.
It's a knock-on from Wilkin.
The knock-on is the hand in there.
Was that off Hodgson?
No, it's
off Wilkin.
Watch this. Wilkin pushes it out. This will be no try. And it'll save an embarrassment for one Gareth Carvel. What on earth did he want to do that for?
There's no picture that clearly shows John Wilkin knocked it
No,
off.
I agree with you. And it's on
well, you can't see there because of the
If you can't see, you have to give the benefit of the doubt to the attacking side, then, don't you?
I think the shoot, you'll see it. There it is.
I can't see that, Steve-O. Anyway, I think that's come off Hodgson. I think he's made a little dab for it, but I don't think he's touched it.
I think he has.
Doesn't show it, though.
You must have X-ray vision. You're the man with the X-ray eyes, Steve-O.
Too true. I think it's a knock-on. Watch. There.
You've got the great... If you can see a knock on there, you've got great eyesight.
Yep. There it is. Just goes forward. No try.
I still can't see it.
I have every confidence in Ian Smith.
Not seen anything.
Well, they've had a little bit of luck, Warrington, with the foot from Hodgson for one other try that was disallowed.
Steve, you can't see the ball. That's behind
I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about the other replay.
That's the one you're talking about. That's the knock-on, you say. But look, I'm not going to take part in this. This is your argument.
It's no try.
The more you watch it, the more I think it's going to be a try, because you can't see his hand at the ball unless you think that one does there. That's off Joel Monaghan, then is it off his foot? Kicks it through. They're going stage by stage, aren't they? They seem to have ruled out the first, what you thought was a knock-on, Mike, and here's the second issue they're looking at. That's forward off Monaghan.
But as he did
his hand make contact with it?
I think Wilkins knocked on earlier than that.
Well, whatever, this is a massive moment. Mr. X-Ray Eyes has got it right. John Wilkin with a smile. Now, what does that tell you?
That he knocked on. And boy, there'll be a red face on Mr. Gareth Carvel. I cannot believe, with about a second remaining, in fact, I think the hooter had gone when he tried to offload.
Well, what a first half. It belonged to St Helens for 23 minutes, in fact for 38 minutes. Then Hodgson's try right on the stroke of half-time gives St Helens hope for the second half. Warrington 6, Saints 22. Well, an unbelievable first half in front of this packed house, and the Hodgson try has given Warrington some hope for the second half, but at 22-0, well, the game was running away from them, and I don't think that Tony Smith will be very impressed with the opening 40 minutes. Error strewn, and they've conceded 4 tries. But 6:22, there is hope. And Mike Rush, well, that's a match and a half now. He and Kieran Cunningham have been in charge, and it's gone perfectly. John Wells, couldn't have gone much better for them.
Oh, big game, big names, big crowd, and a big start by St Helens. 2-0 tackle counts allowed Saints this position. 5 on the long side. Matty Blythe responds, but responds late to even up the numbers. This affects how the guys outside him defend now. But it's this lovely arcing line here from Michael Shenton. Look what it does. Look the effect it has this on Ryan Atkins. Holds him, holds him, holds him just for long enough to let Paul Helens on the outside. Adi Gardner open to scoring. Warrington errors in possession, handed Saints a second early opportunity. Josh Perry is here that gets them on a roll with this rock-steady carry here. Only just set here after this tackle. Morley late back into the line here, and Grix is picked out twice in 2 plays. Saints got him at the 3rd time of asking, and it's Wilkin on the inside that beats Grix, falls off a tackle, then to Lomax with Wellens into support. 12-0 Saints, and Wellens, well, he made it 2 in 2 minutes following another Warrington error in possession. Here's Wellens, look how he gets himself. Look at his ability to put himself in a try-scoring position, and look where it started as well. Soliola's committed line there really puts Blythe under pressure, and O'Hare's quick hands put Wellens in for his second, and it would have been more too had Hodgson not intervened here with the boot, adjudged to have been accidental with by the video referee. I think a little bit of gamesmanship gone on there, perhaps a penalty try. We'll talk about that afterwards, I think. But Warrington's lack of composure at the other end of the field really paid, didn't it? The Wolves defence on the scramble here, spotted by Johnny Lomax. He switches the point of the attack, and at this point here, 4 Wolves defenders could have an input into this, stopping that ball. None of them do. Melly, the beneficiary. Now, this is Warrington's problem, I feel, at the moment. It's a combination of a lack of organisation. There's Myler, composure and execution. Poor attacking shape here. No threat here to Saints. Nothing here to disrupt that Saints defence, and easily dealt with. And so it would have been a massive relief, I think, for the Wolves that they managed to open the scoring through Hodgson. And it was ultimately a lovely dummy that sent Josh Jones on debut the wrong way. Nice try for him. But I tell you, it's not often we use this word in association with Warrington. Carvel's attempted offload here, scratched for that hand in there by John Wilkin. But I'm going to suggest here, I think, that Warrington are perhaps panicking a little bit at the end of that first half. Saints looking very comfortable, but that's only because they've been allowed to be by Warrington's lack of composure, lack of discipline with ball in hand, and Saints looking very dangerous at the moment, Ed.
They are looking dangerous. They lead 22 points to 6. Elsewhere in the Stobart Super League tonight, Castleford have edged ahead of Hull KR 18-16. Hull are leading Bradford 12-6. Huddersfield have hit the front against the Leeds Rhinos 12-6, and Wigan are 30 points to 8 up against the Salford City Reds. Could be a takeover at the top tonight. Warrington, they've got hope, John, for the second half because of Hodgson's boot in defence and Hodgson's boot in attack when he kicked the goal and scored the try.
They've got hope, but they'll have to play a heck of a lot better than they've done there. They've been like a gambler who lost a fiver, and they've just been chasing it ever since, rather than just slowing things down and perhaps playing a little more conservatively and trying to play a bit of field position. I think St Helens have been tremendous this first half. They've played a very controlled game plan. They've looked for field position, then they've looked for your Lomax and your O'Hare to create a bit on the back of some good go forward. But and Warrington just seems to be trying to offload and offload and offload the way out of trouble, and it doesn't work. At some stage you've got to rein it in, and you've just got to go forward and play a bit of conservative rugby league.
Are Warrington believing their own publicity, do you think?
Well, I think they like this, the Kings of Risk title, where they back the defence. If we make an error, we can defend it. Well, you can if you make the odd error. You can't keep defending if you're making error upon error upon error, which was the story of the first half.
St Helens will be unhappy that we've got half-time. Warrington, I think, delighted, because they can sit down, take stock, listen to the coach, start again.
Yeah, I think they can regroup, and they'll have to regroup, and they'll have to play a heck of a lot better. But the dangerous thing about Warrington is they've got so many good strike players that although they're 16 points down, that could go in the twinkling of an eye. So there is a danger there for St Helens. But if St Helens keep defending how they have been defending, it will take some breaking down.
Yes, how many times have St Helens taken on Warrington, either here or at the old Knowsley Road, and they have made the most outstanding and outrageous comeback? Well, Warrington have to do a Saints on the Saints in the second half, and Hodgson, with his trying goal, have given them the inspiration, perhaps. London and Wakefield will be performing for you on Sky Sports 1 HD tomorrow for our Saturday live match from the Stobart Super League. 5:30 for that tomorrow, after we have enjoyed the second half and what is in store for us in the next 40 minutes. Saints are ahead here by 22 points to 6, and the last time that Warrington faced a half-time deficit like this was in 2010 in the playoffs. Huddersfield were 23-0 up at half-time. Warrington staged a bit of a revival, but Huddersfield won. Let's see what they have in store for us. Can they do a Saints on Saints as Lomax restarts with a high-hanging kick-off?
They'll have to improve in their defensive quality, and of course 10 errors in that first 40 minutes, and when you couple that with 14 missed tackles, I think the scoreline becomes no shock, does it, with tactics and with stats like that.
Let's get the half-time news. Rod.
Well, it goes without saying, it'll be a very disappointing night for Warrington coach Tony Smith. You can count the number of completed sets on one hand, disappointed with their defence as well. They are still in the game, that's the positive, but they're trying to do something that no team has done in a weekly round of Super League and win from 22 points behind, the best ever. 21-0 Warrington down at Wakefield and won 22-21 in 06. Mike Rush and Kieran Cunningham were very happy as you'd expect, but just said, just want to smarten up a bit on the discipline, stop giving away the silly penalties.
Well, another offload in an impossible situation has gifted St Helens this possession. They're 22 metres away from the Warrington line.
Well, I thought they would have learned their lesson, Eddie. And I'm afraid it was Hill to try to offload again, an impossible situation and deep in their own half. Saints can afford to do it.
It's coming off for them as well. Here is Wilkin going wide and finding Flannery. Flannery gives it to Shenton. Shenton goes down in the tackle. Rush and Cunningham just watching on as Roby stabs the ball to the in-goal area. Another knock on. Could be a try here. Could have been a grounding here. Could be a try for Saints. Not sure. Was it Gardner again? Was it Gardner again who reacted first?
Well, there's a neat little kick through.
Little fumble there by Hodgson.
That's a knock on, and does Gardner get it? The ball is there.
No, it's grounded on his own try line, isn't it, by Brett Hodgson with his left hand after his knocked on.
He just has enough.
Although, sorry.
That's enough. That's sufficient. And he dragged it onto the line. Another try saver. Another movement to stop the embarrassment, and oh, dearie me. Not the best from Brett Hodgson, but I think he's saved the day.
Should it be a penalty? Are the other players offside for Warrington here? When they're in front of him as he knocks the ball forward, they then touch the ball. Is that a penalty, John?
I feel is it a scrum restart because he knocked the ball on in the field of play first.
Yeah, but don't you get the greater of the offence?
He grounds the ball in the in-goal area.
He grounds it, definitely. It's no try.
If he didn't, either of the other two did, but they, as you say, come from an offside position. It's a goal line dropout.
He's got it right.
Where they're lead.
He's decided they're not offside.
Okay, pal.
Boy, seconds just before the break and seconds just after the restart. The Warrington side scrape it away from what looked like disaster.
They conspired really to help St Helens, didn't they, with the offload again. 2 minutes of the second half gone. St Helens beginning the second half as they began the match on the front foot. This is Louis McCarthy Scarsbrook. We'll see his former club, of course, tomorrow. Broncos, Lomax, back it comes. O'Hare changes direction, skipping away, standing, down he goes eventually.
Should have been a penalty, interfered with it after he played the ball.
Wilkie stabs the kick into the in-goal area, and it's too deep.
I bet he wishes he could have that back again, just a little bit too strong with the boot. But look how quickly St Helens not only get their line straight, they come out of the blocks very, very keen indeed. And I mentioned the fact that in that first half that Warrington were far too slow at getting up to play the ball. They didn't show enough urgency. They've got to do that. Oh, it's good run by Riley.
He's been busy all night, as Chris Riley. He's looked the one most likely to. Here's Breers. Pass inside to Hill.
Oh,
it was going nowhere.
But it was telegraphed.
Move! Hold! Go.
Michael Monaghan stabs the ball in, turns Gardner around.
It's a great kick. Oh, good work from Gardner. Absolutely superb stuff.
Returned with interest by Gardner.
Hasn't he played well, Eddie Gardner? Right from when he first touched the ball in the first minute, he really has run aggressively, run with purpose, and helped get the set started in a positive manner for St Helens.
That try scored against Ryan Hall in the opening minutes last week. I think it's done his confidence the world of good.
Go, well, Mick.
Roby again directing the operations for St Helens.
Oh, he's
there he is once more.
He's a talisman, isn't he? I mean, the mere fact that he's out there. Nice offload from Wilkin as well, and again Lomax getting it away. Flannery, he can get it away. This is wonderful stuff.
Off goes Roby. He's got support both sides.
Oh! Shenton has dropped it. He knew he was gliding towards the sticks. Roby did everything right, and Shenton has dropped a sitter. Well, my mind goes back, remember, a couple of weeks ago when I think it was Tony Pulatuya that dropped the ball in an instance that could have seen them win. But Lomax, the offload there, I mean, they've just been so good at it, haven't they? Can't say the same about Warrington.
Louis McCarthy Scarsbrook with one offload, and Saints were on the front foot. Carvel.
I think, oh, he's offloaded again.
This time it's come up for them, though. Brett Hodgson, fed by Monaghan. Saw it, went for it, and high shot, penalty.
McGuinness, just a little bit over the top there. And you see it, the left forearm, right into the fullback's face. Got to be a little bit careful, St Helens. They're slowly but surely allowing the home side into this game. Lack of discipline, got to smarten that up.
Here's a chance for Warrington to really get back in the hunt for the 2 points. Grix, good run from him. 10 metres away, plays the ball to Mickey Hyam. Former Saint, of course, and Hyam burrowing for the line.
That's what they need. A lot more enthusiasm and that play the ball, create a few problems for them.
Hodgson wide, Joel Monaghan's in! Joel Monaghan, despite John Wilkie asking the referee to hand that decision up to the video referee in case there was a foot in touch, he took the report from his touch judge Ben Thaler, and Joel Monaghan gets the first try of this second half, and a vital try for Warrington is the comeback home.
Amazing, isn't it? Looked as though they were going to concede yet another try, the Wolves. But quick hands, got it out wide. Just see that the winger was just caught in between Running away, Francis Melly just got sucked in slightly.
Good decision from the referee and touch judge here.
Yep. See how Melly had gone out, he put himself in no man's land. He really should have spread across, and he allowed this fella, who scores try for fun, give him half a chance, he'll take it.
Try last week, that was his 35th in 33 appearances, that's his 6th of 2012. Joel Monaghan scored a career best 13 touchdowns last year, and here's a big kick for Brett Hodgson. This would really put the fat in the fire for Warrington if this goes over. Knows how important it is as well. It's like a golfer there looking at the borrow. Now then, can he kick it? Came back from 2 out last week, kicked brilliantly. But this time he just pushes it in front of the post.
Well, the last time Warrington had 15,000 people for a league game was back in March 1973. That day, you know, they beat St Helens narrowly. Now, the majority of this 15,000 here tonight are hoping that they can lift and inspire the Warrington Wolves. This try gives them some chance here. They're getting close to opponent's line, and they're showing how dangerous they can be from that range. Nice pass selection. He found it, took it in, and scored. Now then, is the comeback on?
I wonder if John Wilkins was asking about a possible obstruction in that. Ben Thaler would have nothing to do with it.
And I think Ben Thaler was exactly right, but I'm certain as well that Tony Smith will get the message to his players. That's 2 tries they've scored, attacking the left side defence, where the youngster Josh Jones and Francis Melly have been defended. So let's expect the right-hand side of the Warrington attack to pepper that side of the St Helens defence.
Here goes Bridge.
And you've got to give a lot of credit as well to the substitute, Mickey Hyam. A little bit more enthusiasm in and around the play the ball there, created a few problems for Saints' defence. That's what they were lacking in the first half.
The gap is 2 converted tries, and Breers has gone for a 40-20, scuffed that a bit. Down Helens instead. It's a penalty here, though.
A little bit high there, Breers. And he made the first impact and then followed it through. And as soon as he went underneath the chin, it was sufficient enough. And then followed it down with a polite elbow. He won't mind. He knows that they're in a good position now. They can just ensure that they get good ground forward. Field position is important now for Saints.
Roby is waiting again at dummy half. The general for Saints. Perry taking on the big men up front. Carvel and Co. Griggs was there.
Keep your legs down. Go.
Roby to Lomax. Change of direction. Lovely step.
He does it so quickly as well, doesn't he? He's got great balance.
Roby to Ohio. Here is Wellens. Warrington's defence wouldn't be fooled on that occasion. Roby again up centre field with LaFranchi. Good hit. Low down by Hyam.
Kick to the corner, surely.
Wilkin. Knock on, I think.
Yep.
It was a reaction from Myler. He had to go for it.
It's not a charge now.
Yep. It was a good little kick through as well. You could see there that Chris Flannery anticipated the kick from the second rower.
You know, he kicked that ball, didn't he, with his right foot, and John Wilkins, a left-footed kicker. It's difficult so difficult for Richie Myler to come up with. But this is the set here now, again on their own try line. Warrington have to hang on for these 6 players. All that good work will count for nothing if they don't hold out St Helens right now.
Lomax pops it up Flanagan. Griggs and Hyam working overtime in defence. Perry still. They
Good
get
run.
him down.
He wants to play the ball quickly. Look how many he's got around him.
Roby. Ball's gone to ground, knock on. And they're asking again that Ben Thaler should go upstairs. Wellens, particularly, is absolutely furious.
What a happy boy. has got the arm of Roby. The official Ben Thaler has said that James Roby is knocked on, and he's probably got it right. As Mickey Hyam, as far as I'm concerned, Wilkin thought he was going to get an easy 4-point. There's Hyam. Pulled the arm down.
I think that the referee actually blew his whistle before all this.
If you look again at it, when he actually grounds the ball, he's blown it fractions of a second before he took the ball on the floor, so none of the Warrington players can have stopped. And that shows you, look, he's blown it just as he dives over the line.
Well, I think he asked him to check it, and it is no try, and it's a strong to the defence.
Boy, haven't they got away with a lot of things tonight, the home side.
Well,
think of the
the big
scoreline.
question mark was whether there was a knock-on or not.
Well, he's deemed that Mickey Hyam has hit Roby's arm, and he's lost control of it. Here's the finish. Wilkin goes over. Got to play to the whistle. That's experience for you.
Well, they did play to the whistle, didn't they? Certainly Warrington did. They stopped because the whistle had gone.
We could have been penalised there. He definitely moved off the mark. Remember, Ben Thaler has already given one of those in this game.
Carvel spun to the ground by Josh Perry.
It's got to be a good kick.
Breers up and over the top, down the middle.
It is a good kick.
Well, that's better, Eddie. How they played their own line then, that was much better. Very direct, very aggressive, and then finishing with a good kick. They've got some good territory here now to put St Helens under some pressure.
Malley will come forward.
A little bit more venom now in the Warrington defence. Certainly was lacking in the opening 15 minutes in the first half, and they really needed it. They just so many errors from the home side, but
Young Josh Jones can hold his head up high after this debut of his. Roby's gone for a deep kick, looking for a 40-20. Stood up, and Hodgson will bring it back. As far as Flannery and Shenton. Myler clapping his hands, wants to get on with it. Atkins. Super League extra time with Brian, Barry and Terry. Immediately after this on the red buttons. All the tries, by the way, from this weekend you can see in Super League full-time on Sunday night this week. 2HD at 9. This is Breers. It's it away to Joel Monaghan. Ohio stuck to him like glue. Last tackle here for Warrington. Bridge finds Breers. Up it goes off Breers' boot, diagonal and high. Riley just got in the way of Gardner then. Now then, I thought that he might have been offside there, Shenton. I think this came off a St Helens player. Did it or didn't it? Maybe
no,
not.
I think he probably missed them both. Good pressure though by Riley.
Guess he just jumped in the eye line, didn't he?
Yeah. Go for the ball. But it's a much better defensive effort from Warrington in this second stanza.
Ohio's kick reaches Fred Hodgson. Hodgson
Nearly
got through then. Wilkin fooled Josh Jones.
Wilkin just got a hand to him.
Here's Cooper.
Got to be careful, Saints, not to give away silly. Oh, and they have. Just going to make it. Would be so important. And you could see there was also a late drop flop from Perry and also a swinging arm.
You know, I think Warrington look like the side who are going to win this area. I know it's a big call with a 12-point disadvantage, but they're pressing here now, the crowds are up and the players are up. Mike touched on it. The way they're defending is giving them a chance when they get the ball to go on and win.
Well, here they are in good territory, and Morley gets them to the 10-metre line. The skipper's back to lead the charge. Breers, Carvel, that's a great hit in defence. What a tackle by Mark Flanagan. Oh, Hyam, back it comes, Breers. Gets hold of him, puts him to ground. Hyam again. Here is Bridge. Bridge running laterally. Oh, and a pass straight to Johnny Lomax.
He took a huge gamble, did Lomax, because there was only A.D. Gardner out wide, and there were 3 to 1. Sometimes it comes off. You've got to give credit for the youngster Johnny Lomax to put himself in that position.
But he was going so laterally, Steve, wasn't he? You know, it invited the defence up, and that's why they diffused it. But if you look at the body language of the Wolves, they don't believe they're out of this yet.
That was a good tackle by Breers, just halted Flanagan.
He's claiming he's pinched it, but the referee said let it go. Looked as though Michael Monaghan had pinched that.
Here's Lomax. Off the outside of the boot. Riley comes across and collects.
Great hit.
Soliola and Shenton on defensive duty. Still plenty of time in this match. Hyam. Warrington gaining momentum.
He's made a huge difference, hasn't he, Mickey Hyam? A lot more control from the dummy half, and we'll probably see a little bit more from this fella as well, Michael Monaghan.
Warrington gaining momentum, half an hour since the Saints scored. On halfway, tackle number 4. Hyam, Cooper.
Well, they messed around to play the ball there, did Warrington, that nearly every St. Helens player that moved up, they got away with it.
Again, a high kick from Lee Breers. Wellens underneath this. Oh, he fumbles it backwards. Great chase from Morley. Wellens must have been able to hear him coming.
And another strong run from A.D. Gardner.
Warrington have the sniff of something.
What a fans are going berserk now. Yeah, they were pretty quiet in that first 40 minutes, but now they're really up for it. Can it help the home side? This is where the likes of Roby will just calm things down. Good work, combination. Got to be a good kick. Chase is waiting. A higher.
Just dabs it over the top. Measured, but Hodgson there to cut it off. Solid hit by Flannery. Flannery in his final year, of course. Goes back to the NRL.
Interestingly as well, Eddie, they've taken Josh Jones off and they've moved Flannery out into the centre, so a good move, I think, from Mark Rush and Kieran Cunningham.
This is Waterhouse, who's arrived from the NRL, plays the ball. Myler to Hyam, Morley. Oh, was that high from Perry? No. Oh, he almost gave himself up there, yeah. Josh Perry.
It certainly did.
Myler wide. Oh, not the pass that was on the drawing board.
The idea was perhaps good, but when you throw the dummy, you know that the man's got in front, and it's difficult for your brain box to say, I'll keep it myself. Well, this is going to be up the jumper time now by saying, oh, Lomax wasn't watching.
No, they have a 12-point advantage, but Saints look like the team under pressure to me here. Both with vigorous defence there from Warrington players. But, the fact that, you know, I think that the pace, intensity, and the fear may be starting to set in with St. Helens because they know of Warrington's danger.
It's now Saints' turn to turn the ball over.
I can't believe that the experienced John Wilkin has done that. We criticise Warrington for doing it. Oh, that's got to be a bad tackle, surely.
Referee hasn't even looked at it. Legs were up.
Certainly were.
So Frankie got away with it, I think. Here's Cooper.
Well, they're getting over that advantage line now with considerable ease in regards to...
The stats are turning around here, aren't they, at the moment? The dominance, the control possession better. Imagine he tries a narrow line to win at the end of this game. This penalty will help them even more.
It will. There's an hour on the clock. 20 minutes remaining. And this is a penalty for a high shot on Breers. Morley will take it forward on the first tackle. Legs driving to within 5.
Another drive, then switch to the blind, perhaps. They've done it early.
They have. Myler can't get through. Takes tackle number 2. Monaghan. Greers. Back he comes. Oh, Hodgson!
There'll be a knock on.
Oh, what a golden opportunity.
Well, it's plagued them throughout the night, hasn't it? You could see there that for all the experience, Brett Hodgson took his eye off the ball. It's a simple error, schoolboy stuff, and he knows it. Shaking head, disbelief, looks to the heavens. They won't help.
The Exiles captain in the matches against England later this year. They're coming in June and July, 16th of June, 4th of July. And announced this week that the Galfarm Stadium, Huddersfield, will host number 2. Saints Ground will host the first.
Can't wait. Be a good contest as well. Good build-up for the English outfit.
Great day of Rugby League on Sky on July the 2nd. We have the State of Origin July the 4th. State of Origin in the morning from Australia, and the Exiles match that night. 4th of July, Independence Day. Little battle going on at the Probus Coliseum. And another one at the KC Stadium. This is Hodgson. And Huddersfield leading the champions. Bridge is out. Don't think the referee spotted him.
No.
Bridge is absolutely out cold.
On the line, Ryan.
I think there was a collision.
Yeah, I don't know.
As Bridge tried to charge the kick down. I think he just got a. Did he just get a kick, or was it a stray arm, or?
Well, I don't think the kick. I think it might have been some. Is it in the ribs?
Maybe it's as his head hits the floor as we get to the end of it, really, and a collision, a bit of impact around the neck.
Either way, he's not 100%, that's for sure.
We all thought that Bridge would start this game, but he began it off the bench with Matty Blythe playing in the centre.
Good to see, Eddie, as well. Both physios and both team doctors are out there as well to make sure Chris Bridge gets the correct attention. And there's nothing there. It's purely accidental, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the knee follows through and he just gets him in the rib cage, which obviously is taking his breath away.
And pretty painful.
Sort of a ricochet as he hit the ground.
This stadium at Warrington developing nicely, isn't it? The view there of the corners that have been filled in at that end of the ground, and I know there are plans afoot for years to come to fill in the other 2 ends as well. When it's completed, it'll be an excellent stadium. It already is.
Tremendous viewing, isn't it?
Great place to watch.
It doesn't matter where you are situated inside this ground. You can see everything. Well, the fans are holding their breath. Can Warrington score another try? They really do need it.
To halfway, Warrington.
Josh, keep coming, Josh!
Hill and Cooper.
Move! Chris Slandery, 10! Wait, trapped in.
Michael Monaghan waits. 40 metres away. Paul Wood. Soliola got to him with Perry.
So strong, isn't he, Soliola?
This is the last one. Kick from Breers. No, they're running it with Hodgson, with Bridge. Down the line it goes. Good kick. Very
Tremendous
good kick.
Tremendous stuff. And tremendous work from the full-back Paul Wellens.
But look where they begin this set of 6. Right on their own goal line.
And let's look at this Warrington defensive effort. They really can sniff something, you know. You can just feel it in the stadium. The crowd can feel it, the Warrington players can feel it, and it's St Helens really who are under the cosh.
16 years ago this weekend, the Super League was born, and This is the sort of contest between these two that we have come to expect over the years. Thrills and spills galore.
Oh, did well then, O'Haya. It wasn't the best pass, and he was put under a lot of pressure by the defence.
Only 12 metres made in 5 tackles. That's why Lomax puts boot to ball. Joel Monahan will run this back at them.
That was an outstanding defensive set, wasn't it? Look, wanted to play the ball first tackle inside the St Helens half. Now they need to just capitalise upon this pressure that they're just building.
Chris Hill will play it here to Michael Monaghan. He'll find Paul Wood.
Got to start asking a few more questions of the Saints defence, though.
Still predicting a Warrington narrow win, the margin meter. Maybe this is a big moment for them. No, it isn't. Well, maybe it is. They had the momentum behind them, and Joel Monahan puts the ball down.
Excellent play by Chris Briggs to get it away, but again, the error count. Nothing wrong with the pass, other than the fact that they just had a little look to see where Francis Melly was.
They don't know the words risk-free, do they, Warrington?
Well, they had a great 20 minutes where they probably did play more conservative than they have certainly this season, but 2 handling errors here now in good positions, 1 from Hodgson, then a second one there. And, you know, time is now ticking away from them. They won't get that many opportunities to have possession so close to Saints' line.
Soliola will try and run it past Hyam.
Be interesting to see whether Saints kick early in the tackle count, well before both the wingers drop back.
Wait, lads.
Saves a lot of effort with the forwards as well, but that's good running.
There's Lafranchi.
Play ball.
Will play the ball here to Roby. Now Perry. Soliola, quick hands again. Gardner. Cuts in field.
Great position now to control it. 1 more drive, then the kick.
What the drop goal here, Mike?
Down the line from Ohio, brilliantly cut out by Hodgson.
Well, they went early in the count, thought they might go a bit on the 3rd rather than the 4th. So they can see they can apply that pressure now, and they're putting a lot of pressure on this guy, Chris Riley, but he's been equal to the task.
Now is the time to maybe think of the 1 point, though, isn't it? 12-point margin. Cooper did well then under pressure from Melly.
I don't know how he got it.
And St Helens with a very good defensive set against Warrington to return the compliment that they paid them in the
player down.
last passage of play. And there is a St Helens man on the floor.
2 of them at the minute.
Flanagan's on his knees, and is that?
Like Anthony Lafranchi.
Is it Lafranchi? Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is. It's
clash your heads.
yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah, Flanagan and Frankie made a real big contact there.
Every precaution taken.
Yeah, and this will not help their cause either. St Helens, it's not going to be 100%, that is for sure. That's great to see that it's set up. Flanagan says, I'm A-OK.
So what have we got left? 14 minutes, and Warrington need to score 12 for the draw. Any chance?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Oh, there's plenty of time.
You don't feel they've burst their bubble, they've lost a bit of momentum?
They've lost some momentum, but you cast your mind back, Ed, over the history of this fixture, and there's been 2 scores in the last 3 or 4 minutes. It's a brave man there going off for Frankie, but hasn't this Mark Flanagan toughened up since he's been over in Australia? He really put some good shots on in defence. He copped a wallop there, but look at him, he's back in the defensive line, ready to go again.
And the Saints have to make the change. It's Paul Clough who's come on for him, isn't it? Yes, it is. And now that Lafranchi is off the field, they can restart the game. And Myler goes wide and finds Waterhouse. Round the corner to Riley. All is spilled. He knew he was going over the whitewash anyway. And Clough, his first involvement since he's come back on.
Well, it was inventive, wasn't it? There's a long ball from the play the ball area. They missed out 2 forwards. Trying to get a quick feed out on the left-hand side. You can see there, good work by Gardner. Been a real tussle, hasn't it, between Riley and Gardner tonight? Been a highlight of the match.
Roby up the middle with Wilkin.
There's enough experience out there in the St. Helens side to know that they can keep themselves down here, let that clock just tick away.
Now then, they're 20 metres away and in centre field. They're not interested in the 1 point though. Here goes Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook.
I think they might be now.
Last one. Lomax is back. Wellens is back. Roby there. Oh, they go to Ohio, and that's going to be 6 to go. 6 to go.
He's got the overlap.
Shenton just will take the tackle.
Great work by Brenton. Made sure he couldn't offload.
Lance Ohio pops it up. Clough.
But they've got to be thinking about it now.
Roby. Soliola, big man.
He's got it now.
Probably will win it for Mike Rush. Sia Soliola has come back tonight after a couple of weeks out and has scored a priceless try. Third try of the campaign, but I don't think the previous 2 have been bigger than this. It's probably the one that wins the points for Saints tonight and maintains Mike Rush and Kieran Cunningham's 100% record.
There's the kick. He said that Monaghan has gone for it and he's got it right. They get the extra 6. And you can see they're very quick to switch on that blind side. Oh, that is brute strength. You talk about hard work in the gymnasium to get the upper body so big and strong. That's a wonderful effort. I think they know it, St. Helens. They were under the cosh for 10 minutes, but this man has turned it all about. And you could see the excitement on the coach, Mike Rush. Kieran Cunningham, his assistant.
Well, that's the first try that St. Helens have scored since the 23rd minute, when they raced into a 22 points to 0 advantage. Warrington have dug deep. They have examined them, but St. Helens have come up with all the right answers. And that Saliola try has probably sealed the victory. And if this kick goes over, it really will be a bridge too far for Warrington now. Lomax will add the extra 2 to the delight of the St. Helens supporters behind that goal. And it's 28 points to 10 to Saints.
Gets it down, even though it hits the boot. He has got downward pressure, and that is sufficient. Sheer strength. Ah, great stuff.
Short kick off. Short kick off, and they've got the ball back with Chris Hill. Gardner went for the catch, was in midair and put it down. Here's Paul Wood. 10 minutes to go, 3 tries required. What are you saying now, John?
I think St. Helens have won.
I like a man who changes his mind. But here is Hodgson, and he stabs the ball down the line looking for Riley, and all he does is fine touch. It's been a frustrating night for Warrington.
I'm not so sure that that's the right option so early in the tackle count.
Just got the angle all wrong, didn't he?
Yeah, but
tried to put it in goal.
Do you think they've looked for the miracle play too often in this match? At the start of the game, it was that risky offload inside your own half when you couldn't see one of your teammates. There it's a kick early in the tackle count. Very high-risk players that won't come off that often.
You're right, Phil. It's too many errors, and you cannot expect to win a game when you keep getting the stat man working overtime in that department, and that's what they've done.
Well, last time we heard from Headingley, the Huddersfield Giants were leading the Leeds Rhinos, and if it's still like that in the next 10 minutes or so, and Warrington do lose here, there'll be a takeover at the top tonight. This is Wilkin, And Saints, I think I'm right in saying, will be back inside the 8. Good Friday, we're back here again, or rather we're at St Helens again for Saints and Wigan. On the Thursday night, we're back here again. And before the game on Good Friday, it's Hull and Hull KR in the big city derby. There we are. We went back to front, but we got there in the end. Warrington witness on Thursday. Lancer Hire just drifting the ball into the corner. Great kick. Hodgson.
Common sense, that's all you need, and a little bit exciting there.
Soliola had a grab at the head then.
Yeah, just lost the plot slightly. Just got a bit excited. Over the top hits the shoulder to start with, but then there's a grab at the fullback. He's done it tough tonight, as Brett Hodgson, but it was a tremendous kick, wasn't it, by Lance O'Hire?
Cooper
again
gets
that's
Warrington to halfway.
Eddie, that swarming defence, it really has been tremendous, hasn't it, by the Saints outfit.
I think you've hit it on the head there, Steve. I think we'll talk about Warrington's errors and how St Helens started, but defensively St Helens have been superb throughout the 80 minutes to only concede 2 tries against Warrington this week, 1 try last week against Leeds. They've upped the defensive stakes.
Chris Hill with the drive in. Hyam with the scamper from dummy half. Gets the pass away, but again, it's high-risk strategy, and Louis McCarthy's guard broke. Louis McCarthy's guard broke. Trying to eat up the ground, but he's got Atkins after him. And Atkins will get him down.
He won't mind. He'll take an eternity to get up and play it. Oh, he's done it, got up quicker than good.
Roby.
I thought he might have feigned the injury, but great work by McCarthy's guard.
Lomax! Held up. They'll take it back to the 10-metre line.
Marvellous run by the prop, wasn't it, McCarthy Scars, but what a chase back by Atkins. He literally ate up the ground behind him.
Wellens will just take the tackle underneath the posts. Roby. And is there a chance for another one here? I think there is.
He's got it
and
now.
Has Louis McCarthy Scarsbrook got the reward for the run? We're about to find out. It's going upstairs to Ian Smith.
He has no doubt. Well, the Londoner, oh, he's lost it. That's a shame. He's lost control of it. Slowly but surely, it leaves the hand, and he can't get down with pressure. It's a shame because that run, the build-up to it, it's fully deserved, but it'll be turned down. Ian Smith, video referee, there is confirmation.
Well, it was a heck of a run from deep in his own territory, and he got, here it comes. Look at this, only 4 metres away from his own line. And Saints have been caught a bit cold there, because Warrington, from the restart, they found touch. Quick thinking.
Great kick, wasn't it? Unbelievable.
It gives Warrington head and feet at the scrum.
Was it directly between the posts? I feel, you know, we should have a mark on the 20-metre right between the posts.
Phil Clark has been banging on about that for 3 years.
And he's exactly right.
Well, I'm with you, John, and I'm with you, Phil, but also we also have marks out there in the field, and do they get their feet behind them? No, they completely ignore it.
Let's not get cynical now in the last 6 minutes, gentlemen. Here's Hyam. Hyam will take the tackle. And near enough. He's in between the uprights, but not bang middle. Not bang middle where he should have been.
Glad you're not measuring my carpets.
Glad to know that you've got some carpets, John.
I was going to say, I'm surprised that John can afford carpets. I thought his place was lino. Well, it's a better performance by Warrington, but I'm afraid it's far too much for them to drag out.
Well, at 22-0, the game's over, and you have to credit Warrington for the for the fight back that they've produced. But the Rush, Cunningham, St Helens vintage isn't doing so badly, is it?
This guy's had a tremendous game, hasn't he? And it's a high shot. He's taken one for his corner. James Roby, what a player.
Well, he was a nominee for last year's Man of Steel, James Roby, with the eventual winner Rangi Chase and Sam Tompkins. Are we watching the 2012 Man of Steel so early in the competition? James Roby, because
you wouldn't bet against it.
Well, he's been credited with his comeback has sparked what we've seen over the last fortnight, and while he was away, we kept saying that he was a player worth at least 2 players.
And he's well respected by the players, and let's not forget that that is how they select the Man of Steel these days. It's not the committee, it's all the rest of the players in Super League.
He won it 2007. Will he win it again in 2012? Lomax hits the ball away, flying tackle by Waterhouse.
Another couple of drives, then I'd go for the one.
Wilkin, short ball, Clough bounces off bridge, keeps going.
No one's dropping back, so they're not thinking about it now. But if they have one more drive, I think I would.
Well, not now, because Hill has it back for Warrington. 4 to go, 4 minutes to go. St Helens, they beat Leeds last week. They've beaten Warrington this week. The grand finalists, last 6 years are back. Castleford have beaten Hull KR 34-30. That is a wonderful win for Ian Millwood and the Castleford Tigers.
And it puts a lot of pressure on our game tomorrow, doesn't it?
Doesn't it just? And on Widnes in the south of France against the Catalan Dragons.
That's a knock-on.
Another knock-on by Brett Hodgson. He's not had the happiest nights, has he?
No, but you can't blame the Warrington outfit for at least trying. It's they know it's a hopeless cause. The tick-tick-tick is against them.
Well, I'm sure that Kieran Cunningham and Mike Rush are delighted to win it, the first 2 games against both Leeds and Warrington, but as proud St Helens people, I'm sure that big one that they want to win is the derby against Wigan. That has extra significance, and now the fact that they're on the back of 2 brilliant victories, I think that I'm sure we're due for another sellout crowd there at Langtree Park.
Yeah, it's been sold
out. Can't wait.
Sold out for a fortnight, Phil. The only place you can see it's with us live. Sold out for 2 weeks. Here's McGuinness.
If they defend how they defended tonight, they'll have every chance as well.
Roby to Wilkin. Oh, ball goes to ground.
Knock on.
Knock on by Warrington, is it?
Yeah, I think Brea's got a fingertip to it.
Next game at Warrington Stadium is on Thursday.
Yes, heading feed to the Saints.
He was after poaching yet another. Remember, it was the Breers intercept last week that turned the game around. But the Warrington side and the players, the fans, their coach Tony Smith knows that it was lost in that first 20-odd minutes when St Helens were just red hot.
All keep going against Brave Bradford with all their problems this week. But, a big win for the Black and Whites. Roby and O'Hire, good tackle by Matty Blythe. Roby again finds Wilkin, finds Clough. Lomax tracks the defence to him. 2 minutes to go.
What will O'Hire do here?
Well, we know what Wilkin will do. He'll put it down. There's been a lot of errors both sides, to be fair, hasn't there?
Yeah.
Since that opening burst of 22 points in the opening 23 minutes.
Yeah, but winners are grinners. And again, the simple equation: you take your eye off the ball, your percentage of losing it is pretty high. But I've been impressed with St Helens, just like they did against Leeds last week. They really just pounded against them early in the game. They've done exactly the same against Warrington.
Here goes Paul Wood. Another offload in a
back to 6.
impossible situation. Well, there's knock-ons everywhere there. He's going to play the first one.
Yeah.
And it's Warrington's head and feet.
It was back to 6. Was touched by a St. Helens player. Nicky Hyam, he's played his part. He's certainly injected a little bit more enthusiasm and clever play in the second half of Warrington, but at half-time, 22-6 down, it was always a big hole to get yourself out of, wasn't it?
Hodgson unhappy with the attention he just received from Sean McGuinness. Paul Wood.
I've been impressed with the St. Helens defence out wide as well, even though they just rush out in an umbrella defence, forcing the opposition more down the middle.
Myler goes wide to Hodgson. Hodgson finds Atkins. Atkins kick and chase, and he's going to finish with a flourish here for the Wolves. Ryan Atkins.
Tremendous try.
Absolutely outstanding try. And he and Riley have posed the most threat for Warrington tonight going forward, and he gets just reward. Arguably, best try of the match.
I agree with you, Eddie. Not often that occurs, but he's got the talent. We interviewed him, didn't we, a couple of weeks ago, and he said that all he can do is try his best to impress upon the people that select for England. Missed out, of course, for the Exiles game. And I must say, he's in tremendous form.
Well, the last word in this match to Ryan Atkins and Warrington, but they won't be impressed with that. They're off the top of the table. Full-time siren has sounded. And Hodgson, just for the record books, adds the extra 2. 28 points to 16. The Saints have won. It was their opening salvo in 23 minutes of 4 tries. Gardner, Wellens with 2 and Melly. It was 22-0 to St. Helens before Warrington had drawn breath. Hodgson made it 22-6 at half-time. Monaghan with an early try gave them hope in the second half, but in the end, the Saints have wrapped it up. And there is the man of the match, the Heinz Big Soup man of the match, and he's talking to Rod.
James, well done, man of the match performance. There's a bottle of champagne to celebrate a terrific victory for St. Helens, and 2 on the trot now. It's been a brilliant run, hasn't it, last couple of weeks?
Yeah, it has. It's you know, obviously it was sad what happened to Royce, and obviously we had a look in the mirror, and us as players, we've got to go out there and do our job, and you know, like I say, last couple of weeks have been good.
2 things have happened. There's been a coaching change with Mike and Kieran taking over, but you've come back into the team as well. Try not to be modest. How much of a difference do you make to the team, do you think?
Well, I think I just go in there and do my own job and play the game, and you know what's expected of me by my teammates, and you know, I think I'm very lucky that the team I play in is very good, and you know, I get a lot of joy off the hard work that they do.
Well done, £100 to the charity of your choice, James. Where will you send that for us?
Group B stretch support, please.
Well done, well played tonight, James. Thanks a lot. Louis McCarthy, Scarsbrook's here. Now, Louis, you were reminiscent of Usain Bolt there, where you were breaking away from just out of your own try line. If ever a run deserved a try.
Oh, yeah, but obviously Atkins a lot quicker than me, otherwise I'd be in the centres. But no, fair play to him. He's come out and caught me, so it was a good chase back, but a good break.
It's been a great week for you, hasn't it? Haven't you had a little baby?
Yeah, little baby Rudy. He's at home probably watching. Well, he ain't probably watching. He's probably asleep, lazy. So, yeah, so it's good to start a family and everything.
Confidence is a funny thing. It comes and goes in sport. You've certainly got it now. You didn't have it early in the season, did you, as a team?
No, I just think Kez coming in with Rashi has given us the lift that we needed, and it looks like on the field the boys are enjoying playing rugby, which is the main part of it. You don't want it after losing. You need just something to spark it off, which we have, and we've come away with 2 victories this week, so all leading up to next week.
Yeah, Wigan next. Well done, Louis. Thanks very much.
Nice one. Cheers.
Well, he did well coming off the bench on Sunday, and he was involved in a 60 points to 8 win against Warrington for the Quins at the Twickenham Stoop in 2009, and I know he's got a bit of a soft spot still for the Broncos, and he'll be hoping that the Broncos turn out and do something against Wakefield tomorrow, but we shall see. Wakefield are determined as well, already in London for that match. Well, let's just check out the way the other scores have gone tonight in the Stobart Super League. Castleford. That's a great win against Hull Kingston Rovers. Brave Bradford, but they go down to the black and whites. Huddersfield hit the top of the table with their 22-12 win against Leeds. And Salford, well, they staged a bit of a fight back, but they still weren't good enough. Wigan 40 points to 20. So what's it mean? Well, it does mean we have new leaders, and Warrington have slipped from top to third. Huddersfield on top, 14 points. Hull are next with Warrington. They just shade it on points difference. Wigan, they are fourth. Leeds now fifth. Catalan sixth. Saints and Salford, the Bulls, outside the top 8 again. And London Broncos at the foot of the table ahead of their match against the Wakefield Wildcats as a result of this evening's work by all the other teams. That's where we're heading tomorrow. London against Wakefield, a 5:30 start, Sky Sports 1 HD. But we also have Super League full-time for you on Sunday with all the tries and reaction from this round 9 on 2 HD. But coming up next, press the red buttons now. You'll join us for Super League Extra Time. We'll talk to the coaches, we'll have the analysis and a preview of what's to come this weekend. We'll be reflecting a very, very good win by St Helens here at Warrington. It's Saints night and Huddersfield hit the top of the table.
Watch all 6 Sky Sports channels on your mobile and online.